light of so many things that's taking place right now,
Right.
the police department, allegations,
Absolutely.
things that are going on, what would you want to tell the folks who are watching? Many people are like, what's going on?
Right. Well, you know, the media is a very powerful tool. We use it consistently to put out information. And anytime there's any kind of media that might be negative, we ask that everyone look at it as a whole. We're talking about high profile scenarios in the city of Columbia. We're the capital city, and we're the capital city police department. So we're the center of attention on everything, and we're used to that. But what we're trying to really do is encourage and challenge the citizens of Columbia to get behind the city, get behind the police department in supporting the positives that we do. We're not perfect, we're going to make mistakes, but as a collective and as a community, we can work together and make it positive. If we continue to say that there's no improvements, or we continue to say that, oh, the city of Columbia is just a negative place, well, then people are going to believe that. What we need to do is really concentrate on the facts, make sure we do good fact finding. I know as a police officer, that's how we are when we do our criminal cases. And at the end of the day, you know, let's work together on ways to improve.
Chief, what's your reaction to the allegations made against you?
Well, you know, obviously it's an ongoing civil and criminal investigation, but I can say just the same as I've always done, undeniably untrue, false. My reputation as a police officer is one that's always going to be one that's supportive of our officers, but also supportive of doing what's right. And anytime that stops, then absolutely, I need to be held accountable. But in these cases, you know, we're talking about frivolous allegations based on nothing but lies.
Wow, Chief, and for you, how are you coping throughout the past 2 days, knowing these allegations are levied against you? Now the FBI is getting involved in your department. Does that put another black eye in your department?
Not at all. When we look at investigations, we're talking about accountability. I hold our officers accountable. I expect myself to be accountable. And I think the city of Columbia wants everyone to be accountable that works in law enforcement. So anytime there's any kind of allegation, there's allegations every day of rudeness and maybe improper techniques when it comes to investigations. We expect to be fully investigated. And since day one, I've invited those agencies to be a part of that investigation. So there's nothing to hide. We want to be as transparent as possible. And we want to make sure at the end of the day that we're providing a premier service for the citizens of Columbia. And to do that, you got to have the best of the best and the most professional people possible. And you know, between SLED and the FBI, I'm sure they'll come to their conclusions the way it's supposed to be.
One of the final questions here, Chief. Do you believe that this whole situation could affect maybe you becoming the permanent chief of police?
Well, the position hasn't been announced yet. Obviously, I'm very interested in being the chief of police. With my background, with my vision, with my partnerships with the citizens, I've dedicated my life to working with people. The people of Columbia that know me know this. I grew up doing nothing but working with the concerned citizens about crime prevention, about improving the quality of life. And that's the focus of what I intend to do if I'm selected as the police chief. Again, that's not something in my control, and I have a job to do. And my job is to make sure I go out there and do the best I can every day, just like I would expect our officers. So at the end of the day, whatever the city decides to do, I'm still a part of Columbia. I'm going to be a part of Columbia, and my job is to be a police officer.